So I think there were two things that came out of the senior leadership team away day. The first thing was, I think there was a general consensus with the group that the senior leadership team meetings that we have like on a 6-weekly basis aren't really working the way we want them to work. So rather than it being a kind of creative think tank space to talk about some of the bigger picture, more strategic issues, it seems to still be kind of day-to-day business. And I think the feeling is that we don't want it to be that. The second outcome was, I think there was a general consensus as well around communication, that we haven't really still got that right, and I think that's twofold. That's communication to our membership. Are we really engaging them in the way we want to engage them? And secondly, it's around how we communicate as a team. So, constantly bombarding each other with emails, this really isn't a forum for having a conversation or exploring things. Really pleased that people were taking on board what we're saying around communication, particularly, the one that gives me sleepless nights is making sure we communicate well with the membership, because if we don't get that right, I don't know what we're here. So I really need people to kind of see the value in what we're doing in like the Your News newsletter, to see it as like a strategic tool, their channel to talk to the members who we need to be engaged with us, so we feel more joined up. I think perhaps doing some of the spending time with people to talk about what it is, because I think there's probably this kind of feeling that it's really overly complicated, it's really onerous, and it isn't any of those things. It's just a way of being. So Peter talks about why wouldn't you do it? Because it should just be part of your day-to-day thing, like turning on your phone, and that's the way it should be seen, not as like an add-on to the day. So I think there's probably some work I need to do around improving people's understanding of how you do it and use it in that way. And I think it's just about creating that tipping point. So I think we need to have more people doing it and to be seen to be doing it. That will bring more along. So Jerry talks about the first follower and the leader, and I think that's where we haven't quite got to with social media, which is what I think we're now wanting to put some energy into. Yeah, I really enjoyed the day. I think it was really good to see that people were willing to be quite controversial about the way they were feeling, and that particularly when we did the bit to look at where do we think we were against our objectives at the beginning, and now where do we think we are now. And there was generally people were saying the same thing, but there was a few people who were saying, well, actually I'm not sure we're any better than when we started. Are we worse? Have we got a shared purpose? So I really felt that like people were really honest, and I think that can only be good, because I think you get to a different level of trust, and then you can build on that. Yeah, make sure that you book your Twitter training with me.